So let's start with the causes of the World War One. System of the First of all, we have the system of the secret alliances. Secret alliances at that time there was the secret alliances formation that was a major cause of the World War One. So on the one side there was the Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Germany. जब सर्बिया से ऑस्ट्रिया हंगरी की राइवलरी स्टार्ट हुई थी तो सर्बिया was backed by the Russia and the Austro-Hungarian Empire was backed by the Germany. And also Russia was in the was in the alliance with the France and Britain. So there was the two camps which were defending each other. On the one side there was the ट्रिपल अलायंस. ठीक है, ट्रिपल अलायंस के अंदर जो है वो ऑस्ट्रिया हंगरी और जर्मनी आ जाता है. Austria-Hungary, that was the one empire, and and the Germany and the Italy, and on the other side, in the 1902, and on the other side there was a triple entity. In the triple entity, there were the Russia, Japan, France, and the England. So in the Triple Alliance in the 1902, Japan and the England entered into the alliance in 1902, and in 1907, England or France made the alliance, and further after the 1907, Russia joined them. So there was some kind of the triple entity on compared to on which was against the triple alliance. So that was the first cause of the World War One, and both the World War included because of the alliances with each other. So some nations were in the war, and some nations are backed by the other nations. So second, we have the militarism. Militarism also was a major cause of the World War One. Approximately 85% जो थे वो फ्रांस ने अपने जो मैन सर्व थे मिलिट्री के अंदर 85% तकरीबन, और 50% जर्मनी के मैन सर्व थे मिलिट्री के अंदर. तो that was a huge amounts that were included involved in the war. And also from the 1870 to 1940 मिलिट्री स्पेंडिंग बहुत ज़्यादा थी वर्ल्ड वार वन पे. 19 अगर हम देखें तो 94 से लेके 394 बिलियन यूरो तक थी मिलिट्री स्पेंडिंग. So the military and the naval armaments of all the great powers began to grow year after year. फर्स्टली द मिलिटरिज्म का बनाने का जो पर्पस था वो ये था कि फॉर द डिफेंस के लिए थी, लेकिन बाद में इसने हेटर्ड पैदा किया, फियर पैदा किया बिटवीन द नेशंस. एंड जर्मनी एंड इंग्लैंड वाज was kind of the race was in the race of the naval armaments. For example, we can say for every ship built by the Germany, two ships were built by the England in advance. Militarism put too much of the power into the hands of the general staff of every country that was not conducive to the maintenance of peace. So we can say that ये जो alliances हैं, militarism है, that was not conducive for the peace, that was prompt to the war. Then we have the third major cause of the World War One. That was the economic imperialism. इकोनॉमिक इम्पेरियलिज्म जो है इसके अंदर ये था कि जर्मनी at that time Germany tried to capture the markets which were already in the hands of the English. That led to the bitterness between two superpowers. We can say उस वक्त जो जर्मनी था वो दैट वाज इन सर्च ऑफ मार्केट्स, और वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कॉलोनीज बनाना चाहते थे ताकि वो मार्केट सर्च करे और अपनी ट्रेड को प्रमोट करे. सो दैट वाज द रीजन दैट ही वांटेड टू enact more and more territories for his betterment of the for his proper prosperity. So economic imperialism that led to the international rivalries. Economic imperialism इसको कहेंगे कि for the sake of the trading, for the economic prosperity जो colonize की गई, उसके बाद टैरिफ वार भी शुरू हुई. Then we have the narrow nationalism. ये था कि Germany was at the kind of the its competitive patriotism. He was in the full of the patriotism. You can say that जर्मन्स जो उस वक्त जो लीडर्स थे वो नेशनलिज्म को बहुत ज़्यादा सपोर्ट कर रहे थे उधर, कि जो भी है वो जर्मनी है, और वो अपने आगे किसी को कुछ समझते नहीं थे, और वो कहते थे कि सिर्फ जर्मनी के राइट्स पूरे होने चाहिए, उसी की जो है वो पावर है, और दैट वाज wanted to annex the other territories for their power, and wanted to make the hegemony. So that was a kind of the narrow nationalism and the competitive patriotism. We can also say that that was the love for the Germany demanded the hatred for the other rivalries, for the just such kind of the France and the other Russians and the Britons. Intense nationalism in the Serbia, which were created bitterness between the Serbia and the Austria. Um, Serbia created bitterness between the Serbia and the Austria and the Hungary. Serbia at that time wanted to annex the Bosnia, but unfortunately Austria annexed the Bosnia. So that was the bitterness among both the nations. And after the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, that prompted really hard towards the war. Then fourth one is the in the narrow imperialism and forced militarism have already discussed, and poisoning of the public opinion by the newspaper. So another cause of the First World War was also the poisoning of the public opinion by the newspapers. At that time, we can say that in the Turkey, when they declared the war, टर्की ने उस टाइम पे जब वार डिक्लेयर की थी ऑन द नेम ऑफ द जिहाद, सो उन्होंने जो है वो जो उनको स्पॉर that was not from by the Muslims, that was the pushed by the Germans. Germans pushed them to revolt and to instigate the Muslims towards the jihad. So at that time, the emperor in the Ottoman Empire also was assist the Germany okay, against the France, against the Russia. So they declared Germans declared the war. With the help of the Turkey against the Russia. So in the response, Russia defeated the Turkish. So the nationalism and the poisoning of the public opinion, पब्लिक ओपिनियन जो थी वो टर्की के अंदर जो है वो कि ऑन द नेम ऑफ जिहाद जो थी लोगों के जहनों को पॉइजन कर दिया था उसने कि that are the infidels France and the that are the infidels, and we should set the war against them. So that was the pointing, but because of the misrepresenting, misunderstandings, and all the other Muslims in the world was in the against of that kind of jihad, because it was a use of the religion in the politics, so that was totally illegitimate at that time. So very often newspapers in all countries, and we can say that Germany was totally control over the Ottoman Empire press, and it was published all according to the Germans. So that was very influence of the Germans on the newspapers, as it is what they want they publish. So newspapers in all the countries try to inflame the nationalist feelings by misrepresenting the situations in all over the country. Second, we have the no machinery to control the international relations. So, no machinery means that there was no administrative body and no some kind of power to control that war. So, everyone take the convention